help me welcome your next Senator, Senate District 25, Elizabeth Wong Ahlers.
Thank you. Okay, do I need this? Pastor Dan? This is good? Okay. Yeah, we don't have to keep this up here, but I did want to show it because there is some bad news out there about me. It's because I'm holding this flag. So, but if that's the worst they can find, that's pretty good, right? Okay, Samuel, we could, I don't know, take it. Thank you for coming today. I don't really do stump speeches, and the Republicans have endorsed me, and they always kind of tell me, you need to work on a stump speech. But I have felt that you're my friends, especially in a occasion like this where you're contributing to the campaign. You're pretty sure you're voting for me. You're supporters. You're my friends. So I was going to read my candidate statement that we put out with all of the voter information guides that came in the mail, which kind of summarizes what I am, and Samuel kind of did that in the introduction. So during dinner, if you want to talk to me personally and get some more about me, this is your chance. But what I wanted to say today, some of it, I'll go off of our slogan, which is love, lives, liberty, law. It starts with love, and then your lives matter. Liberty operates when good laws promote peace and prosperity. And I wanted to say that Pastor Dunlap and this Lighthouse Baptist Church has really shown love to us and what love is. There's so much in politics is about, I'll do this for you if you do that for me. I will give you this money if you will do this for me, or give me money next time. And even in my town council, different fundraising kind of things, it's like, oh no, I'm not going to share this sponsor with you because they only work with me. But what I found is that with a lot of those that have the heart of Christ, it's not about playing political games or about what personally you get from something, but it's from the cause, or it's something, it's bigger than yourself. And I wanted to thank Pastor Brian and all of you for giving, because for giving not what you get personally. I think we'll all get great joy in November. But the cause is much bigger than any of us. And love, so if it starts with love is sacrifice. And we have that from the cross and Jesus, right? For God so loved the world, and Jesus sacrificed his life, and he has made the world a better place. Someday we're going to heaven because of Jesus' death on the cross for us and resurrection, but we are living a great life in the United States, greatly because Jesus came 2,000 years ago, and with Christianity influencing Western civilization, we've got health, hospitals, we've got volunteerism, and we've got schools, we've got education. I just love our color guard, our veterans. Thank you so much for the love that you've given to our country, and you've continued even through the reserves for decades. Thank you so much for your service. And it's from the heart of doing things out of love, and love being sacrificed. Not what, some of these signs say love is love, but love is sacrifice. So I want to thank Pastor Dunlap and this church for being such an example of that, first of all, because opening the space for us and then providing dinner is it's their gift toward this campaign. And so thank you so much. So many fundraisers, you have to put out $10,000 to put on an event, and then you hope that you'll break even. But this is everything that you've given today, and everything that will come in checks is going towards winning this election. And in the primary, we're top two. So you've got to be top two. There were 5 candidates. You've got to be top 2 to have your name on the ballot November 5th. And the third place, so her name's not going to be on the ballot, she spent $3.3 million, and she lost. So it's not all about money, but it's about you. And so it's like, stand up. If you have been making phone calls and knocking on doors and giving, and you've already been part of this campaign, because I want to clap for you. Yeah, come on, and praying. Okay, so nobody wants to stand up, but it's just about all of you. And so thank you for coming today too to support us. But so love. And also love my family. Here's Johnny. Stand up. He's all dressed up in his Eagle Scout. He got Eagle in January. And where's Ron? Yay, Ron. So Ron and I have been married 34 years, and we've got Priscilla here. So yay, thank you, Priscilla. Priscilla's been doing the field director, helping because it's all too much for Samuel. Samuel's been a great campaign manager, but we've got Priscilla, field director, and Johnny was out canvassing today with Stanley. So Stanley, raise your hand. He's helping us this summer too. So I think so I wanted to say something about love and our family. So there's 6 of the kids. I homeschooled them, as Samuel told you, but they've been sacrificing. Ron's been sacrificing, and last week, July 2nd, maybe it was 2 weeks ago, we were invited to Sacramento. Senator Brian Jones called us up there because we can flip this district, and so they wanted to have us meet all the Republican senators up there, and I wrote him a letter because my mentor, Senator Mike Morrell, who retired now, but he told me you should write a letter and tell Senator Brian Jones that you need their financial support, that you have put skin in this game. We've put up some of the kids' inheritance. So I wrote this letter. I said, we've put some of the kids' inheritance into this election ourselves, because if we don't change things in California, there's not going to be anything to inherit, right? And so if we know, it's kind of, our mentality has been save, right? But now it's like, this is the time to spend it too. And so that's part of the timing of this is, we're here for such a time as this. This is our time. I was talking to Stephanie that this is our time. This district is an open seat for the first time in decades, and we can flip it. The senators up in Sacramento, they're rooting for us, and we'll see if they come through with financial help. But even if that doesn't come through, I feel that someone else was saying there's Linda was saying a secret weapon. And the secret weapon is really the people of God sharing in the sharing in your circles of influence, because that doesn't take money. And we were able to win the #1 spot by doing that in the primary. So we had 73,000 votes in the primary. It looks like for the general, we're going to need 250,000. So we will need to do more advertising to reach more. But this is hopeful. Love, lives, liberty, law. There's a scripture, Romans 5, that came to my mind this morning because of hope and the difficulties that we're going through, including what happened to President Trump today. We glory in tribulations, knowing that tribulations produce perseverance. Perseverance produces character. And character produces hope. And I was thinking, how do we get hope? Where does hope come from? But the scripture says hope comes from persevering in tribulation. And as Brad was bringing up Reagan's near-death assassination attempt, and then today, President Trump. In these times of tribulation and perseverance, President Reagan said that at that time, he became so much clearer in what his assignment was in life. And he was much more focused and determined to stay on track and continue the course that he knew God put him on. And I feel that is also, I'm sure that's going through President Trump's heart today. And I have, but those things bring hope, because it is a testimony, right? It's a testimony that when God has you on an assignment, I mean, we don't want to be presumptuous, but because only God knows. But we could possibly be indestructible because God has us on assignment. And I was listening to another podcast about the Apostle Paul, and when he was on the ship he wasn't going to Malta, he was going to Rome, but they had a shipwreck and he ended up on the island of Malta. And his assignment was to get to Rome. And so he couldn't even die in a shipwreck. And so these testimonies give us hope to persevere in the tribulations. And there's going to be some suddenly surprises. So I do apologize that I kind of ramble on my thoughts, but sometimes it's like I said, when I've taught English and I've taught speech, and Samuel's a president of Toastmasters, but I just kind of resist being in a formula or an outline, but because part of that secret weapon is reaching the heart. And so sometimes when I just reveal who I am, I can build trust with people, because I feel that politicians can say whatever they want, and we don't really believe it that much. They might have a message that we like, and then we can say, okay, that we check off these things. But if we don't trust them, they go up to Sacramento, they go off to Washington, and then they blow everything that we expected or that we hoped. But I want to build relationship with you, because when I go to Sacramento, I want to hear from you, and I want you to know what's going on up there, and it's back and forth because I want to represent you. Yes. Mm-hmm. So, love, lives, liberty, law. The lives that, so I put that in there because, I'm saying your lives matter, right? But what are the lives? There's the lives of the babies. It's the lives of the children in school that are being taken from school into another government residential place without parental notification, without parental consent. That just went into effect this month. So at 12 years old, they can be taken from the public school, put into another residential government approved place because the child does not want to tell the parents that they're gender confused. So those lives are important, and that was crushing, Brad. 12 times the suicide rate after this transgender stuff begins. That's crushing. Thank you for giving us that statistic. And then I say your lives because we are working families. The beauty of America is that we have had a strong middle class that can have a very, prosperous, comfortable life without being somebody super privileged, right? Just because we can grow our talents, we can learn our skills, and we can achieve. And as a society, if somebody does really great work on a car, we go to that person, give them our business, and they can prosper. If somebody is a great teacher, they can prosper. But we're having the middle class going through a squeeze, right? So one of the things that was coming up, Cynthia Galbadon was giving me these talking points that's so helpful. So if you've got talking points that I should take around, just let me know. And so there's an update on AB5. So during 2019, AB5 went through. In 2020, it became really a problem, even, especially during the pandemic. So it's independent contractors are not allowed to be independent contractors anymore. There's a lot of exemptions. So people who are doing haircuts, I think they got an exemption, but independent truckers, they're going to have a lot of trouble now. It's going into effect for them that they can't do their independent work. It's requiring them to be an employee, which is difficult for the employers because then there's all of the extra taxes, the extra regulations, the extra requirements that may make them say, okay, we can't hire anybody to do this, and our business is not going, we can't do the business without the independent contractors, so we're just going to leave the state. So these just kind of working situations, these are our lives. So there's all kinds of things that come to mind when I'm saying love, lives, liberty, law. So some of the other laws are like we need to reverse things like Proposition 47, and that allows $950 to be stolen from a store with barely a slap on the hand, and the criminals know it, so they take advantage of it, and it's even become those smash and grab viral videos. You're just like, what? And like Brad was saying, things are happening these days that seem to be only in movies. But this is what's happening, and it's time, and people are starting to say, no, this is crazy. So we're bringing in, we need to stand up as the people, the stable family people that all we want is to raise our children in peace, to prosper our businesses in peace, and to have a future to leave for the next generation. We're not the ones that are rioting and burning down buildings, but now we can't just stay quiet, right? And so I think that this is going to be a significant year, because the people that are good in our hearts and want good for everybody else are coming together to elect better leadership and to say no. So we talked about AB 665, which is taking kids out of their homes into some other place. So there's laws. There's so many laws. There's 3,000 bills that go through our legislature every year. 3,000. And some other states, the legislatures are only part-time. But here in California, we give them a lot of time to write more crazy bills. This is our time, and I've got one other thought that's a little bit different, but it's interesting. It was another podcast, and he was saying, okay, there's a tribal mentality in certain countries, or this is contrasting tribal and empire. And both of these structures are not productive, and it brings actually like slavery. So he's saying, like, some of the Muslim countries, they're very tribal, and it's not very productive, and there's fighting between the tribes and the different sects there. And then there's empire, which, with the communist situations, those tend to be empire, like the Soviet Union, China, where there's the power at the top, and then everyone else is sort of like slavery. But nation is like the 12 tribes of Israel or the 50 United States, where there's a family interest, there's more like a local control kind of governing, but there is also a unity where they come together to protect each other, to prosper each other, and to be of one mind. So it's sort of like 50 states and the Constitution holds this together, 12 tribes of Israel and the Mosaic Law held them together. And in the time of the judges, when everyone did what was right in their own eyes, it was anarchy, right? They were being tribal, but it was anarchy. And then they're vulnerable to outside enemies. In the colonial times, before the federal government was formed, it was a little bit anarchy at that time too. And in order to fight England in the revolutionary times, they had to come together. And so a nation has both the family and the local governing, which brings more freedom, but there's a unity. And so I really appreciate how all of you have been coming together in this campaign, because we don't want to have, like, I feel like sometimes I've got to run around to all these little tribes and keep everybody happy. But when we all come together and see that, all right, we all have in common that we care about the children, we care about our businesses, and we care about being able to just live peaceful lives, keeping our churches open, etc. This is powerful and this is effective. So, all right, I think you kind of get my heart, and I do apologize that I think it's very emotional today, but I love you, and God bless you. Samuel, let's move on with the program. Oh, I asked Samuel to make some kind of party favors, and do we have those? So he made these prayer cards, which really touched me, that he felt that prayer for us would be the party favors. So I just want to say thank you for praying for us. And God has saved my life multiple times. Some of you know some of those. But I know that this is an assignment I'm on, and I thank you for the prayers. All right.